Leo was a boy full of life, laughter, and energy. He was known throughout his village for his kindness, always eager to help anyone in need. But there was one part of Leo that sometimes made people nervous: his quick temper. While his heart was in the right place, his temper often got the better of him, and before he knew it, he'd say or do things he regretted. One summer day, Leo and his best friend, Sam, were playing in the village square. They had a group of friends with them, and their game of catch had turned into an all-out race as they ran back and forth, laughing and shouting with joy. It was one of those perfect, carefree afternoons. But as they played, Sam threw the ball just a little too hard. Leo raced after it, his eyes focused on the flying ball. He didn't see the tree root sticking up from the ground in front of him. In a split second, Leo tripped and fell hard to the ground, scraping his knee on the rough dirt. The ball rolled far away. Leo sat up, feeling the sting of the scrape, but what stung more was the embarrassment. He could feel the heat rising in his face. Before he could even think, the anger hit him. "What's wrong with you, Sam?" Leo shouted, getting to his feet. His voice was loud, and the laughter around them stopped. Sam, still catching his breath, was confused. "What do you mean? I didn't do anything." Leo's temper flared even more. His fist clenched. "You threw the ball too hard. Now look at my knee." He pointed angrily to the small scrape, though it wasn't very serious. Sam took a step back. "Leo, it was an accident. I didn't mean to," but Leo wasn't listening. In his anger, he stepped forward and shoved Sam hard. Sam stumbled backward and fell to the ground, his expression shocked. All the other children stood in silence, watching with wide eyes. Sam's face turned red, not from anger, but from the sting of betrayal. He looked up at Leo, unable to believe what had just happened. "Why did you push me?" Sam asked quietly, his voice shaking. "I thought we were friends." For a moment, Leo felt the fire in his chest burn even hotter. But then, as quickly as it had come, the anger began to fade. He looked down at Sam and realized what he had done. His hands dropped to his sides. The anger was gone, but it had left behind something worse: guilt. I didn't mean to," Leo stammered, but it was too late. Sam was already getting up, brushing the dirt from his clothes. Without another word, he turned and walked away. The other children followed him, leaving Leo standing there alone, feeling smaller than ever. As the sun set that evening, Leo sat by the river, tossing pebbles into the water and watching the ripples spread. The cool breeze didn't do much to soothe the storm of emotions inside him. He felt ashamed, confused, and frustrated. Why did he get so angry over something so small? Why couldn't he control it? His father, who had noticed Leo wasn't himself during dinner, came out to find him. He sat down beside Leo, his face calm and kind. "You've been quiet today, Leo," his father said softly. "Do you want to talk about it?" Leo sighed and tossed another pebble into the river, watching as the water rippled outward. "I got mad at Sam today. He threw the ball too hard and I tripped. I yelled at him and I pushed him." His father didn't say anything right away. He picked up a stone and ran his fingers over its smooth surface, as though thinking deeply. After a while, he said, "Anger is a strange thing, isn't it? It comes quickly, like a flash of lightning, and before we know it, it's out of control. And once it's out, it's hard to take back." Leo looked down at his hands. "I didn't mean to push him, Dad. It just happened, and now Sam won't talk to me." His father nodded. "Anger can make us do things we regret. It's like a fire. It feels powerful when it's burning, but when it's over, all that's left are ashes." Sam spoke, his voice soft but firm. "You really hurt me, Leo. Not just when you pushed me, but when you didn't listen. You didn't even let me explain. You just got mad." Leo nodded, feeling the sting of guilt again. "I know. I wasn't thinking. I let my anger control me." Sam sighed, looking down at the grass. "It's not the first time, Leo. Every time something happens, you get angry. And it's hard to be your friend when I'm always worried you're going to blow up." Leo felt a lump in his throat. He hadn't realized how much his temper had affected Sam. I know. I'm trying to change. I'm really going to work on it, Sam. I hope you can forgive me. Sam was quiet for a while longer, but then he nodded. Okay, Leo, but you have to really try. I can't be around you if this keeps happening. I will, Leo promised. I'll do better. As the days passed, Leo made a real effort to control his temper. Every time he felt the anger rising, he remembered his father's words. He took a deep breath, counted to 10, and reminded himself that acting in anger would only make things worse. It wasn't easy. There were times when he felt the old, familiar surge of frustration, but each time he managed to keep it in check. One day, while playing with his friends again, Sam accidentally stepped on Leo's foot during a game. Leo felt the flare of anger in his chest, but this time, instead of lashing out, he stopped. He took a deep breath, closed his eyes for a moment, and let the feeling pass. It's okay, Leo said, smiling. No big deal. Sam smiled back, relieved, and the game continued as if nothing had happened. The other children, who had been bracing for one of Leo's outbursts, relaxed and laughed. Leo felt proud of himself. He was learning to control the fire before it spread. That evening, as Leo sat by the river, watching the sun dip below the horizon, he felt a sense of peace. His anger had once been like a wild fire, burning everything in its path. But now, he was learning to control it, to put it out before it caused harm. And in doing so, he found that his friendships were stronger, his heart was lighter, and the world around him felt a little bit brighter. Leo learned that anger can feel powerful in the moment, but its consequences often last much longer than the anger itself. Just like ripples in water, the effects of our anger can spread far and wide, touching everything around us. But by learning to control it, we can create ripples of kindness, patience, and peace.